This logo that you see on the screen, Happy Pride Month, this came from the Women's Fight News Twitter account. Now, Women's Fight News, they have a Twitter account, a YouTube channel, probably Instagram, and, well, they are a female boxing news site. And they are they're very much in favour of LGBT and pride, and they're concerned about racism and all of this stuff. Now, what is it called? British Fight News, Women's Fight News. What does Women's Fight News actually know about the Pride movement? Well, the answer is nothing. What did they know about the LGBT movement? Nothing. So why have they got this on their Twitter account? Why? Did they know who's behind this? No. Do they know the political agenda behind this? No. Do they know the history of the Pride movement? No. They are totally ignorant of all of these things. So why do they support them? Well, it comes down to virtue signalling. It's pure virtue signalling. Of course, if you cared about gay rights, let's say in England today, and this is a British Twitter account, website, whatever, if you're concerned, then you would be speaking out loud and clear against Islamic immigration. And many people arrived in Britain today across the British Channel from Muslim countries, and many of those people believe in the death penalty for homosexuality. Well, Women's Fight News don't know, and they don't care. It's very easy to put up a slogan and say you're in favour of gay rights. You know, there's Terry Harper. She's a female fighter, a gay fighter. She's always going on about gay rights, and I have no doubts in interviews she gives over the next month, she'll be hyping up the Pride movement. Also the LGBT movement. What does she know about these organisations? The answer is nothing. And the reason these people know nothing is because they don't care. They genuinely don't care. Now, the truth is that all of these groups, they are extreme left-wing, anti-Western groups. They have no interest in women's rights, gay rights, immigrants' rights, or black people's rights. None. Their sole purpose is to destroy Western civilization. Now, of course, gay rights is a very Western thing. And you can catch these people out very simply. You know, if you go to a Pride march or something with an Israeli flag, they won't be very happy. You'll be kicked off. You'll be told to go away. Now, in Israel, of course, they have gay rights. If, on the other hand, you go with a Palestinian flag, you'll be welcomed. Of course, there are no gay rights in Palestine. And of course, the people that the LGBT movement and Pride movement would support in Palestine, all of these people are rabidly, murderously anti-gay. And the LGBT Pride movement, it has a long and very public history of supporting people, constantly being on the same side as people who want to kill gay people. Now, here in Ireland, just a few weeks ago, we had two gay men separately, some hours apart, or I think a day apart. They were murdered. Immediately, Pride and LGBT were on the radio, on and on about homophobia and all of that. And of course, all their allies in the media and all their hangers-on, etc. They were all out, all out. wall to wall, talking about, you know, how dangerous life was for gay people and persecution of gay people. And then suddenly, maybe 12, 15 hours later, suddenly they stopped. Why did they stop? Well, you see, the news began to leak out that, well, these two men who were murdered, they weren't shot in the head, they weren't stabbed, they were decapitated. So, and suddenly, the LGBT people, the Pride people, suddenly, they weren't interested. Now, of course, here in Ireland, the LGBT movement and the Pride movement are directly responsible for those two murders, directly. They can't get enough Muslim immigration. And here in Ireland, the biggest mosque in Ireland, and politically the most important mosque in Ireland, is in Clonskea. The official spokesperson for that mosque has openly spoken about the death penalty for homosexuality on a radio channel that has roughly 750,000 listeners. And not one single LGBT person apparently heard any of this, because none of them complained. The truth is, any Muslim cleric in Ireland tomorrow can preach the death penalty for homosexuality, and you won't hear a peep out of the LGBT movement or Pride, because they have a different agenda. They have no interest in gay rights, or any rights. Anyhow, I'm wondering as I do, but yes, it's very easy to virtue signal, very easy, and it's very popular. And of course, if you actually believe in gay rights and stand up for them, you'll be persecuted. If Women's Fight News were to stand up for gay rights tomorrow, they'd be off the air in the blink of an eye. Their sponsorship would be gone. Their reputation would be gone. Matchroom Boxing wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot barge pole. Nobody would want to know them. They would be ruined. That's if they were to actually stand up for gay rights. For instance, in Britain right now, there are a lot of gay people being murdered very quietly, one at a time, stabbed, that sort of thing, random stabbings. There's a lot of men who don't have girlfriends in England now who are turning up dead from stabbings. There's a quiet sort of genocide against gay people in Britain going on right now. And anyone who cares about the subject knows about it. Not a word from the LGBT movement. And of course, if Women's Fight News were to start talking about that, they'd be shut down in the blink of an eye. Anyhow, I'm rambling off the point, but you take my point. Now, for the next month here in Ireland, we will have this gay pride rammed down our necks. And all of the people doing that ramming down of necks, all of those people will have one thing in common. They have an absolute contempt for gay people and gay rights. And they can't wait. They can't wait until Islam takes over and kills all the gay people in Ireland. So, happy Gay Pride Month.